Dosto, good evening. I'm feeling absolutely fresh on top of the world. I'm going to talk to you now today on a very important topic which is very contentious in India. आप जानते हो डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने एक डंडा दिया है. You know, when we say in Punjabi डंडा दिया है, डंडा देता है, that means he's given a bamboo to the Indians who had illegally migrated to the United States. They've been caught, put in chains and sent back home. The first lot of 105 landed in Amritsar, and they were seen coming out of the plane with handcuffs and chains. Well, there was a hue and cry in the Indian Parliament, and Rahul Gandhi and few of the other Indians said that Modi is the man to be blamed. He is the man to be blamed for this thing, and he has insulted India. Wonderful. I think this man's thinking is a bit cockeyed. Now, gentlemen, a lot of people ask me also, Captain, what's your opinion? There are hundreds of videos going on. They're talking so many things, saying, Hare Baba, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, and all that. India ki besti ho gayi, India has been insulted and whatnot. Well, gentlemen, I think as a nationalist and as an Indian who's served the Indian Armed Forces for so many years and who has an ancestry with the Indian Army for 100 years, I have the right to talk as a nationalist. And as a nationalist, I will tell you that what these Indians did, they disgraced India more than anything else. It's not Modi who's been disgraced, it is India has been disgraced because of the antics of these men who went there, men and women, illegally to the United States. And the man who's supporting them and talking like the Aam Aadmi Party leaders and Rahul Gandhi, they have besmirched the fairness of India much more. Now, what are the crimes these fellows have done? I think they did a preposterous crime. Firstly, let's accept the fact that these people who went abroad were not beggars. They were not men who didn't have food to eat like most of the Indians have. They were well-to-do men and they were able to spend 40 or 50 lakhs of rupees, even 80 lakhs of rupees to give to some agents, who promised to ferry them across from India to the United States. Well, that's a very sad situation that these people had so much money and they decided to fritter it away and send it across to these people, put it in their pockets so they could go to the United States. And why go to the United States? What the hell is there in the United States in any case? But in any case, an euphoria has been created, an imaginary world has been created of America, and so we're all going to have a ball there. So many women, young girls migrating across, not migrating, illegally going across, paying money, asking their parents to get them loans, sell the land, so we can go to America. So these are the men and the women who betrayed India. They had no faith in this country. So they committed a crime in the sense they left the country without proper documents. Now when I go abroad very often, I have to go by the legal channel. I take a visa from the other country, I present it to the Indian immigration and they clear me and I go. That is the way to go. The way to go is not that you get surreptitiously some document and go across to Pakistan and then Iran and then to Libya, Egypt, go across the Saharan desert and then enter Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and then go through thick jungles infested with crocodiles, rivers, and reach America. In the bargain, what happens? Quite a few die on the way, number one. And the woman, well, you know what happened to them? You open up, lady, I want you, if you want to go to America. So they do open up. So this is what these people were doing. And when you go to America, you find it's not a land of milk and honey. Where do you stay? You stay under the basement, in the hovel, you keep hiding from people, looking for a job, you go and get a job. And you keep asking money from your parents, from your brother and everybody. And net result is one day you are caught and you are sent back to India. You see, ever since Donald Trump came into power, it made it very clear that illegal immigrants would be thrown out from there like dogs, and the American law would prevail. And so obviously these people, broke the second Carton principle. They entered another country without proper documentation, without a visa, and then began like leeches to eat on the wealth of that country, thinking that they would be very happy to have these forlorn people there. So when the fellows were caught back, what do you expect them? That they should be given a glass of champagne on the air flight, a special plane, sit down with a tie and whatnot and come back to India? I think what they need is a bloody kick, a bit of a whipping, and then put in jail back in India. So I think the Americans were within their right to chain them, handcuff them, and send them to India. That's the American legal procedure. If you remember, Michael Jackson, when he was arrested and was being taken for the trial in the court, his hands were handcuffed. I think let's go through the video and say it. There's nothing Michael Jackson could do, and he's a very big man, a man who earns billions of dollars. Now, if Michael Jackson can be handcuffed, I don't see how these people who had come all the way from India surreptitiously, secretly, should avoid getting handcuffed and should be treated like little rajas, oh, Baba. Now, they went away on their own. Nobody told them to go. They didn't tell the Indian government we are going. And nothing, let's get facts very clear. Somebody from the opposition, I think it was Rahul Gandhi or somebody, meant that India was sending planes to pick up other people, who had gone as students and things like that from Ukraine, from Kuwait when there was a revolt, and why could they send the plane now? I think it's the most preposterous question to ask. That's a very, very foolish way of thinking. People who went to Ukraine, who went to Kuwait were legitimate workers who were working there. Ukraine, there were students, they were in the university who were working there on a valid visa. And the Indian government was bound by its duty bound to get them back to India. And so they used the aircraft from Air India and even the Air Force to get them back. But what about these gentlemen? They went on their own there, secretly bypassing the Indian customs, and then paid lakhs of rupees to surreptitious toddlers, peddlers and whatnot, agents, drugs, cartels, to go across Africa and America and enter the United States. And all the time they were being assured by this cartel, don't worry, we take you to America. And of course they were taken there, but then they were detected. And now there's a big crusade on. Donald Trump has started a crusade to get these illegal migrants out. Thousands have already been caught, and those who are the dangerous ones, who've been committing crimes like murder and whatnot, they are going to be kept in that famous prison at Guantanamo in Cuba, which was leased to the United States by Cuba way back in 1903. So, gentlemen, I don't think there's any sympathy for these people. And our press, as usual, having a one-point plan to malign Modi come what may, going and interviewing them, creating a very sorry figure about them, that these fellows have been greatly wronged. Wronged? I would say they deserve more punishment. The moment they come back to India, they need to be arrested, tried, and sent to jail. So they remember they sojourn in the United States. And our External Affairs Minister is a wonderful chap, and he's from my school. There's the Air Force School in Delhi, And I think he remembered me. I mean, I was his junior. Now he's a man who has very rightly said that the Americans have followed the rule of the book. Whatever is there in the American laws has been followed. Illegal people are aliens. They have to be arrested. And why should they be chained on the train, on the plane? I'll tell you, if there are about 100 or 200 of these people on the plane and they're just 3 or 4 guards, what stopped these 300, 400 people who are unchained getting up and killing the guards or taking over the plane, hijacking it? It's possible. So you've got to keep them handcuffed and shackled. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong, friends. And that is, I think, hundreds of Indians will agree with me. And one thing, it should be very clear, even to the Indians who are sitting there in Canada, in the United States, there's nothing for them back home in India. You chose to leave your mother country, go to Canada, become a servant there. I know of a lot of people who went to Canada and England who bloody couldn't pass the matric examination in India and going and working as sweepers and cleaning the toilets, and they feel very happy about it. Hum to balayat aa gaye. Wonderful. If this is your ambition in life. And I remember of an incident, I'll tell you. I had a very close relation who was in America, who was in the United States in Vancouver, and he was a very well-to-do man there. And he was a man I respect a lot. I will not like to name him. He came back to India 3 times, 4 times. And you ask him, sir, why do you come back to India? So I asked this man, why are you coming back to India again and again? And he said, look, son, I made a lot of money, but I got no respect in America, Canada. And the respect I can get is only in India. So I want to come back to India and invest in India. So he tried everything to invest in India with an airline, making containers, doing so many things in India. But well, God didn't smile on him, but he didn't succeed, and he passed away. So this gives you an idea that people with money also have no respect in Canada, or whether you're in England or America, and they look for recognition, fame, when you come back to India. Maybe if you're a 2nd or 3rd generation Indian in the United States, like Ramaswamy or Nikki Haley or something, well, you're accepted to a degree. To a degree. Even there's a lot of color bias admitted by Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think got thrown out of a dog basically because he had not the white skin. Well, gentlemen, talking of these people here who came back now here in chains, I don't think there's any sympathy for them. No sympathy, sir. I don't think you must do any form of sympathy for these fellas. They don't deserve it. And they only deserve the calaboose. You know what the calaboose in Western pictures we say the cowboys in movies? That's the jail. And people like Rahul Gandhi, I mean, you can't expect anything better from this man. He's, what to say about him? You know, his grandfather created such a lot of nonsense in the country. I mean, he created something like the stables, you know, like the Augean stables, which even after. And so, gentlemen, I think I will close now. I hope you like this video of mine. Let's not sympathize with these people who have come from there. They don't deserve any sympathy. And it should be an example to other people who have gone there that, well, you have to face the grapes of wrath. I think, gentlemen, I'll close now. Say goodbye. I hope you like this video. Share it with your friends and come back for more. Goodbye. God bless and Jai Hind.